Yes, people, we're here. I'm excited. It's one of them previews I've been looking forward to. Arsenal against them guys up north, the bitter rivals. Scott, it's going to be great. And is it going to be as fiery as this match preview? Let's get into it. Yes, yes, my people. So you can stop that straight away.
Go on there, Rebel. Show them, son. Show them
How
what
we
it's
all
all
doing?
about.
So it's guns. It's no, it's not Gunslingers. It's Armoury TV. I'm all over the place. It's the preview show. If you don't know, I don't know where you've been. It's Man United against Arsenal at Old Trafford. We got a special show today on the preview. We got some United guys on here try to back their corner. So let's introduce those guys first. First up, we have Rebel with the Roy Keane shirt. How you keeping, bruv?
Good, good. I'm currently sitting in Cork, the home place of this absolute legend. He had Paddy Vieira in his pocket in his career, and what a captain. So I am good, and I am looking forward to taking ye on tomorrow.
Looking forward to having you. Thanks for coming on. Like the energy. Roy Keane was a good player, but I think you got a bit too far with that with Patrick Vieira comment there. But we'll save that for another debate because I'm sure that was going to rise up its head again soon. Also, I'd like to say welcome to TalkMU. How you keeping?
Yeah, welcome, bro.
Good, good, good. How you feeling about tomorrow?
Oh, mate, it's like a breeze, like when I go for a walk in the evening after tea. It's just simple, isn't it? Just let your legs do the motion, and then everything just falls into place. I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay, okay. A bit like what City done to you lot when Gundogan said we didn't even train for them. We just done a little bit of keep ball and then got ready for the match. So I like your energy. Let's hope you
Them
got that
games.
talk on Thursday. Let's hope you can keep that up. And we've got my brother who's looking after me, Nigerian Englishman. How you keeping, bro?
Oh yeah, now I'm ready. Manchester United. It's not like Man United of old. I'm not scared. Just the last 3 years we've not lost against them, so I'm good. Let's keep this one moving, man. Quick light work. And good. Patrick Vieira was in nobody's pocket. Nobody. So
Mhm,
let's keep
mhm.
this real.
So yeah, as you can tell, we got
Ralph.
a lot of high energy up in here today. There's a lot of testosterone flying around. I'm gonna try and keep it as mellow as possible, but now you lot go off and do your thing. So obviously, big game tomorrow. Rebel, how you feeling about it?
Well, you got to look at this. We are pretty much throwing that form book out the window because we are in a new place in terms of the direction that we are traveling at the football club. Obviously, we're not going to see the finished article tomorrow. It's a week and a half into the changes that are being made at our club. But there are positives to take from what's happened so far. Michael Carrick, in his caretaker capacity, is unbeaten. He's taken forward a win and a draw. He's secured knockout football in the Champions League for us. Chelsea, they pretty much tried everything they could to blow that house down, and they couldn't. And I understand from what you were saying in your conversation yesterday, you have skepticism over your strikers. So that fills my heart with joy, knowing that ye as Arsenal fans are questioning the abilities of your strikers. So with that in mind, looking even at some defensive frailties that may still be in the Manchester United lineup, it pretty much evens things up for us. So I'm feeling good about things. I think there's 3 points in the offing for United tomorrow.
Not bad. It's going to be an interesting game. Like you said, I do agree with a new manager coming in, regardless if he's had much impact on what Carrick's been doing or not. I couldn't. No one would know apart from inside the club. But obviously, there has been a reaction to Ollie leaving. As you said, a draw and a win against two good sides. Villarreal, no pushovers. So to go in their backyard and win wasn't easy. Wasn't the best of games. but you got the job done. And then again against Chelsea, as you said, they couldn't break you down. However, again, you didn't look great. But sometimes you have to win ugly or get them points. I mean, you look back at that as a good point against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So, yeah. And again, you listened to our conversations yesterday. Abba, Lacazette, Martinelli. I think we've got something we need to work out there. But I've got faith in my boys. I know Nigerian. I know you've got a bit of faith in the team. So I'm going to let you come in next. How are you feeling about tomorrow?
Oh, mate, it's a lot different to the times of old where I'll tell you, I'm not going to lie. I used to get, when I saw this fixture in the fixture list, I used to get shivers. Because there was, I don't know if you agree, Gumsa, there was a period where we used to have like a complex against Man U. Like, no matter what lineup they had or how many injuries they had or who was playing, they just figured out a way to beat us, man. I was talking about it on my show yesterday. But today, I mean, Arteta seems to have a good little record against Man U, so I'm not worried, man. I'm not scared about this Avenger, Ragnarok, or whatever his name coming in. I don't know, man. Like, everyone's getting excited about a guy that's never managed the top side. I don't know why they're getting so excited. If he was such a good manager, then why hasn't the top side taken him on before today? I've not seen it. So I'm pretty confident. If there was ever a time where we could go to the theatre of screams and deal with these boys, this was the time. So I'm seeing a positive result for Arsenal. I've got Man U have showed me nothing to be scared of. Let's just say that.
I think that's it for me as well. Like, I don't want to be overconfident because it's a game of football, and
Yeah,
United
exactly.
will be up for this. I think more than the
For
Chelsea
sure.
game, they'll be up for this one.
No.
But like you said, there's nothing really scares individually. Big names, Ronaldo, Bruno, you can't deny. Rashford, Sancho, great players, but as a collective, they're not really firing. But as we know, as Arsenal fans, we seem to be we like to be the team to kickstart people's seasons. Do you know what I mean? Like Benteke won't score in 3 years, and he'll come to Arsenal and get 2. So yeah, that's what we have to be a bit cautious. But I love the energy. I love the energy. So TalkMU, how are you feeling about tomorrow?
Oh, mate, no problem. I'm not worried at all. Not in the slightest. It's like you just hit the nail on the head there. You know, we're up for the game. We got the players with points to prove. New manager waiting in the wings. You know, Carrick's done a great job to this point. Full of energy at home. So I don't see anything other than a win for us, if I'm honest with you. For reasons that we will talk about a little bit later on, yeah.
Wow. Like that. I like that. So do you see any surprises to your starting 11, TalkMU, or do you think he's going to go with the same team he played against Chelsea? Main man, I think Ronaldo, that's probably the big talking point. And Harry Maguire, do you bring him back in?
Don't call him that. Captain Maguire. Put some respect on his name, Gumsa. Captain Maguire.
I don't know. I mean, he may well go for Maguire. If Maguire's 100% fit, you know, and ready to go and been doing well in training, he may well start him. But if he hasn't, you know, been doing that, then I think he'll stick with Bayer, which I'm happy with because I like Bayer. I like his energy. I like his tenacity. I know he's a bit wild sometimes, but you need that in these games against Arsenal. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to make it easy for us. There's no two ways about that. So 100%. I would like to see him. I would like to see Bayer start. In terms like Ronaldo, I don't know. I don't know if we can afford to start Ronaldo. If I'm honest with you, I think another bench job might be coming here for Ronnie. Coming off
sounds like fear to me, Gumsa. Yeah. That sounds like fear to me, bro.
Well, yeah, wait a minute. What happened to my speaking here, man?
Rebel, how about you? Do you see any? Sorry, Rebel, do you see any changes to that 11 you played against Chelsea? So I think it might be similar. We dominate the ball and you camp in, so even in your own backyard. So do you feel you're going to go with the same kind of tactics, or do you reckon you'll be a bit more expansive and have less respect for Arsenal than you did Chelsea?
Again, listening to what you were saying last night, Saka, I believe, is out tomorrow. So that's another weapon that is not available to you. You already outlined your fear over your striking team. So looking at that, we might not have to have the same big fear of your attack as we did of Chelsea's. And I expect it to be maybe a bit more positive. There is quite optimism that Cavani could be back for the game tomorrow. And if Cavani's back, he's going to be much more mobile. He's going to be much more able to press. And alongside of Sancho, that has, since Carrick has taken on the temporary role that he's done, Sancho scored 2 goals. So Sancho's confidence is growing higher and higher and higher. And he's somebody that's going to give you a lot of trouble tomorrow, I feel, because he's going to be playing with an air of abandonment, knowing that everything that he does, every run that he makes, he's showing Ranić that he's the guy to operate that sort of a pressing system that will obviously start coming into place over the coming weeks after this. So I would, between him and Cavani up top, and possibly maybe Lingard slotting into next to Bruno, you've got quite a mobile setup in your front line. And I think that could give Arsenal pause for concern, and Arteta maybe thinking, I might need to shut the door a small bit more, and I might need to contain these guys. So, as we say sometimes, attack can be the best form of defence, because if we are attacking you, then the frailties that we have back further are limited in terms of the amount of times they can be exposed. So that's where I'm kind of looking at this and thinking there's something to this for us.
Not bad shout. I do like. No, don't say I do like it, but I think Lingard deserves more opportunities than he's been given. He hasn't done anything to make me feel he shouldn't be playing more. The form he had last season was ridiculous at West Ham. So yeah, I think there's more. I think you could cause more surprises with the starting 11 than we can. I think I would say 9 out of the 11 picked themselves. And we're going to move on to that Nigerian. Do you see any big changes? Obviously, Saka, no words come out that I've heard that he's injured or not. Obviously, we had this going on that he limped off in the last game. But any other changes you would see? I know, obviously, Tavares and Tierney is a kind of discussion point.
For me,
major?
And nothing major, but the only one that I wouldn't be upset with is if I did see Tierney instead of Tavares. I'm not saying Tavares doesn't deserve to start. I wouldn't be upset if he started anyway, but if there's one thing I'm thinking of is maybe the experience of Tierney might be good, and maybe the last 30 minutes bring on Tavares to push them on. I wouldn't mind that, but I would understand if Arteta starts with Tavares anyway. But Gumsa, like, I don't know if you're feeling the same thing I'm feeling about these United, man. They're clearly not confident, but it's like they're Man United, so they're trying to be. Well, we got to be confident, innit? It's one of them ones. They're actually not confident. I can see it, right?
Yeah, hold on.
I can hear it on their voices. They're like, but we're Man U, we got to be confident.
Hold the phone. What in my voice has made you think that I ain't confident? Come on. I told you what's going. I told you how it's going down, and you're going to witness it tomorrow night, mate. It's happening.
Okay. TalkMU, I've got a question for you then. Like, did you honestly see anything in that Chelsea game which gave you confidence going into this game? And if so, what did you see?
Yeah, did you? I see our ability to press, the hard work, the heart, the desire, getting in, breaking play up. All that's going to be needed tomorrow. Like I was talking about with Eric Bayer, being physical. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're going to need that tomorrow. But again, for me, on a serious note, no, all this bravado and all that. I think I said it last night. I think this is going to come down to like individual mistakes that are going to lead to opportunities, and that's where the goals are going to come from. Because I think just simply because Arteta, he came in. It was a tough time for him early on, as we know. You know, fans were on his back. I don't know what you guys were, Arteta in, Arteta out, and whatever. But it was tough for him. But he seems to have turned the corner. He's got some kind of identity starting to now grow. So if he does go with his 4-4-1-1. Then you know what, with Ober at the top of that and Odegaard just behind him, then you know what, it could be, like I say, it's going to, for me, it'll come down to individual errors, and we're going to need to be just as busy as Arsenal. We can't afford to let them use the space, because we know what Arsenal are about. The passing move, the one touch, boom, 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 lay it off, pass, move, go. We'll be, you can't live with that, and you do that too long, you'll give confidence to Arsenal, and that's the last thing you want to do. With an Arsenal team, because you've got some good players in that team, not two ways about it. I love it, Emil Smith-Rowe. I love Saka. I really love Saka. I do. You got Odegaard's a cracking player. Partey speaks for himself. Your goalkeeper, he's a good player as well. But as flamboyant as your goalkeeper is, I think he needs to just be a little bit careful on that, because if he tries to do a little bit too much, could come unstuck a little bit, I think there. But you know what? Listen, I'm pretty confident though that we're going to have more just more in the game and be able to take advantage, like I said, of any mistakes made, and bang, we'll get the goals.
Do you know, it's funny you're saying that. What's good about this Arsenal team, we're making less and less mistakes than in previous years. And if you're banking on that, that could, do you know what I mean, hold you back in this game, because we spoke about it a few times on other streams. The little mistakes we were making, we seem to be eradicating them. There's been times players have got goal side of our back line, and where we normally rush in and panic and try and win something you can't win and give away a penalty, we're kind of almost saying, go on, you test Ramsdale. So we are making fewer mistakes, but again, when you're playing the likes of your front four, whoever plays, do you know what I mean? It is different than when you're coming up against, not being disrespectful, your Palaces, your Brightons, who good footballing teams, but individually probably don't pose as much threats. I think if you're 1-on-1 against Greenwood, you're more scared than if you're 1-on-1 against Morpay. Do you know what I mean? Not being disrespectful, but you've got game winners in there. Lex, we're going to come to you because obviously I know you've had a couple of technical difficulties. How are you feeling about the game? Any nerves, excitement? Like, how are you feeling?
Yeah, no, I had some. My laptop decided to just play some games. I don't know what it was doing, some software updates or something, and it just locked out.
I thought you'd bottled it, Lex.
Yeah.
Lex, I thought you'd bottled it, bro. I thought you bottled it. He's gonna make an excuse.
As soon as I literally just entered the live stream, it just went boom, just locked out, blue screen and everything. So I was like, damn. But yeah, just going back to the game. How do I feel? I feel confident. Just touching on what you said, Gumsa, about mistakes. I agree with that 100%. I think we're making less mistakes and we're looking a little bit more solid at the back as well. Looking at United's last game against Chelsea as well, I'm thinking, I don't know if there's going to be loads of goals in the game, and it's one of those games as well where form kind of comes into play with it a little bit. But when you're playing at Old Trafford, it could go either way, really, to be honest. But I'm actually confident. I feel really confident going into this game. So that's how I take for it. A question for you United fans. Would you start with that same formation and team that you had against Chelsea, or would you change it and put like Ronaldo in, for example?
Harry Maguire. They kind of answered that earlier, but I let him do it again.
Yeah.
Captain Maguire. Stop disrespecting him, Gumsa. Captain Maguire. Call him by his actual name.
We have to go with if Cavani's like fit and ready and raring to go, then we have to start with Cavani, and Ronaldo will have to be sort of keep the bench warm for his moment, wait for his moment to come on. And but I don't see why we can't stick with the same setup. You see what happens when you have them three pressing like that. Because I mean, what we've got to be careful about as well, also though, is what we like. What Arsenal, what they start to do under Arteta, when we're taking a goal kick, for example, you'll get up ready to win that ball, and then you're in a good high position to try and attack us. So we've got to be careful of that, for me, because that could prove dangerous. But I don't see why we should make any special dispensations for Arsenal. We concern ourselves with what we've got to do in the game. We've got like Michael Carrick in now. He's been given these instructions. You don't want to sort of now start complicating issues by trying to change it up again, because that's where Ollie was kept going wrong. Changing it all around and stuff. So we don't need to do that. I think we just stick with it, and we'll prevail.
Decent. I'm just gonna before I bring up the next one. Go on, Kunle.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like from what TalkMU was saying, like if they do set up like they did against Chelsea, I'm gonna be pretty excited about that. And the reason is because I still see Ollie's United currently, because you still concede a lot of chances. If Chelsea took, for example, the Hudson-Odoi chance, or I could have seen that game ending 3-0, personally. And the way you scored the goal against them, you're not going to score against us like that with that press on Jorginho, because I believe Chelsea didn't give you any respect, leaving a man like Jorginho at the back as their last man. And he even still tried to take a touch. How dare he try and take a touch? at that point with 2 people on that's disrespectful, to be honest. I see us leaving a man like Tavares at the back, and he's not going to take that touch. He's either going to hoof it, or he's going to be able to recover with pace. So if they set up like they did against Chelsea, I don't see any reason for us to be worried. But one thing I will be worried about is if I don't see Saka in the starting lineup. I'll be honest.
I hear that. So just quickly, I'm just going to go to Rebel. Because again, for me, the excitement in this game just feels different. How do you rate this derby against Arsenal compared to the others? Obviously, you got Man City is a big derby for you lot. Liverpool, I heard you and Leeds don't get on at all. But how does this one rate for you? Like, does this give you a bit more edge than some of the others? For me, this is probably my favourite one, even though I love the Tottenham game obviously fills you with something, but this Man United game always seems to get me a bit more than the rest of them. What about yourself?
Absolutely. Well, as you know, I'm Irish. I grew up with Keane versus Vieira, Ferguson versus Wenger, the biggest, most pinnacle people of their eras, going at loggerheads for the best of 15 years. And this Arsenal United setup, this game is always going to be something that's going to be a big one for me. Even if we were playing in the championship against each other, it would still be a big game for me. Like, obviously, you love beating the Liverpools, like he loved beating Spurs and all that kind of stuff. But you cannot I suppose, when you grow up with this type of setup and these type of rivalries, you're not going to let it slide, even when it might not necessarily have the same standing as it used to. But I'm really, really, really looking forward to getting at you, because it's part of the start of a journey for us again. We are looking to get our hands back on our perch, to quote Ferguson back in the day, and we are looking to basically put in an identity, a system of play that we have been probably lacking for a small bit, and at least a lot of this season. And for me, like, we talked about the midfield setup. I think Gunnar's mentioned it in the chat, but what we haven't talked about is if we do sit Ronaldo on the bench and we bring him on the second half and the game's in the melting pot, an area that I think could be of concern for you is that aerial threat. We all know what Cristiano can do with his head. And I suppose I'm going to throw one back to you. How do you feel you could deal with the aerial presence of Ronaldo from set pieces?
Can I take this?
Yeah, your Lex, go for it.
First of all, we need to watch his go and watch the Serie A game when Juventus played up against Tomiyasu last season, and he'll just show you the blueprints how to handle aerially Cristiano Ronaldo. The big warrior Tomiyasu is going to lock him up in the air, and hopefully, to be honest, the last person I want to see in the starting lineup is CR7, if I'm honest. But if any man can handle him in the air, I didn't say overall, I said in the air. Tomiyasu is the guy.
Decent. Lex, do you echo that, or do you see another tactical approach to stop Man United?
Well, I mean, if anyone saw the video of Gabriel a couple of hours ago, that was on the ground, but I'm sure he can handle Ronaldo in the air. He's probably coming at that on a high, just thinking, yo, I can handle a couple of guys with a baseball bat. He's Ronaldo. So, yeah, I'll put it to that. We can handle that, man. Don't worry.
Decent. Right, we're going to move on to this.
Let's just clear some up.
Go on, you go.
The biggest game in English football is Man United Liverpool. They are our bitterest rivals, without any question whatsoever. We hate them. They hate us with a passion, right? With a passion. Manchester City. Who? Say that. Sorry, who are you talking about? Who?
Your noisy neighbours.
That little team who won the lottery. Right, go away. Turn the music down, son, and do one, right? You just pipe down, because when Pep's gone, you're going to fall off a fucking cliff, pal. See in a bit. That's them dealt with, right? So forget about City. They mean nothing. They mean nothing. Okay? So until the Manchester City win the Champions League more than once, then they don't come into the conversation, right? So that's them out of the window. When it comes to Man United, Arsenal, listen, Man United are like the big bully of the school, and Arsenal were the ones, the second, like the one below. The second cock of the school. And you can never get the better of us. Never get the better of us. You always wanted what we had, but you just couldn't get it. And that was a big frustration for Arsene Wenger. and for Arsenal fans. Let's be fair. It was
100%.
frustration.
100%.
You know what I mean? So, and like now we find ourselves in this game, right now in this where we are in the table. We're underneath, you know. Do you know what I mean? We're looking up at your shoes, man. We can see all the.
That's why we led the stream like this as well. We're above you, man.
Yeah, I know. But
you're only above us in geography. That's the only place you're above us.
And even if we do win, we're still behind you, but we closed the gap. So I got asked the question last night: was who's the game more important for? And I was like, well, it's just as important for both teams. To be fair, you know, Arsenal are in, like you say, good form coming up against Liverpool. Listen, again, serious talk. When it comes to when we talk about football, listen, Liverpool are a difficult team. They are just too good. They're just too good. They're really, really difficult. So it was always going to be difficult for any team at this moment in time, as they're playing like they are, to go and get a really great result against them, unless they have a totally off, you know, one of those off days. But for me, for Arsenal, man, you're in a good vein of form. I would say probably much better form than we are right now. You've got much more cohesion in terms of what it is you're doing as a team. Everything else, we're still kind of, like I say, now we've chopped from Ollie, we've changed from Ollie. We're now under Michael Carrick. Rumours are he's on the phone to Ranić, which I don't believe for 1 second. That's nonsense. So, you know what? I mean, yeah, Arsenal in the better form, but I'm still confident. I'm still confident that we're going to do the number on you, and we're going to retain that position of bully and send you back down on the coach with a little bag of sweets and a few little vintage.
I like the confidence. I do like the confidence. I do like it. And again,
You've not beaten Arteta yet, bro. You've not beaten Arteta yet.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute. Do you know what these lot sound like though? They sound like them. You know, Cannon Briggs, the boxer, where he's trolling like Klitschko and the new Wilder, and it's like, hold on, you're washed up, like you know what I mean? You're in them white collar fights now. Like, why are you talking to the big guns? But you just can't let it go, and that's where I think United fans are at the moment. Bless them, like we've been there. We understand what it feels like. We've been there. We're still trying to stay relevant and trying to hold on. But no, again, you're a fantastic club. Do you know what I mean? You're the biggest. Do you know what I mean? Club in England, let's be honest. But at the moment, I think you are going through a rough time, and I think this is probably a very important moment for you guys. You know what I mean? There's a massive transition, and again, a good result against Arsenal can really kickstart your season. But a bad result, I know you got a new manager coming in, but them points difference, it's still relatively early. But
I know what you're saying, but I can't. Do you know what? I can't for the life of me see a bad result coming. If you look at the Villarreal game to what we're going to come up to now, how much more energy we have in our game and how much more willing we are to run and press and get into people's faces. So I think that's, if we weren't doing that, if Ollie was still here, I would be.
I was praying Ollie was in, yeah. I thought Ollie would get sacked after the Arsenal game, but Watford went and done the undespicable thing and beat you lot. I was not happy when they did that, the way they did that. Like, they just left it at 2-1. We were having a different conversation today, but yeah. But all right, we're going to move on quickly. We're going to bring up the head-to-head record over the last 10. So United have won 2, Arsenal won 4 draws each. Obviously,
these men are talking to us disrespectfully like this. Can you imagine?
But I think the most important one though is the 6 undefeated, and that's unheard of. If I'm honest with you, like growing up, for me, going 6 games undefeated against Man United is unheard of. Again, I feel the games have been a bit boring. The last few, like we've won a couple in that, but you know, I said I'm used to the excitement of Arsenal United, the flu flowing. I think none of us have been great the last couple of years, but we seem to be getting the better of you. Does that worry you looking at that table and seeing 6 games without a win, and you failed to score in the last 3 against Arsenal? Does that worry you going into that, or does the form go out of it?
Frankly, Gumsa, I don't think the form book can be taken into account because the people that were overseeing those games, Ollie's gone. We're in a new blueprint, so I suppose you have to kind of take the game in a standalone position in terms of what starting 11 Arsenal put out, what starting 11 United put out, and them doing battle on that pitch. It could go either way. There's definitely, I suppose, as Hawk said an individual mistake could lead to the game swinging and setting the story of that game very easy if it happens early in the game. But I don't think you can take in those last 6 games in particular, because as you would have seen in that Chelsea game and the Villarreal game, you are starting to see glimpses of what that United squad is capable of, because on paper they are supremely talented. Where we fell down was we were playing as 11 men, not one team. And I think you're starting to see a bit more cohesion in terms of the way that we build up our play. And the case in point, and I'll come back to it, is look at the difference between Sancho pre-Oli being removed and Sancho now. You're looking at a guy that is starting to gain his confidence back. And if he gets in form, you saw what he done in the Bundesliga. He can terrorize the best of defenders. And that's someone that is going to probably be a big part of whether or not we win this game, is if Sancho can make those penetrating runs, make those penetrating crosses, and get the ball into and create clear-cut chances for us. That's where I see the story of the game for United being, is those abilities to get behind your defenders, create a bit of space, and get that ball in and create chances. That's where we're going to be living on tomorrow.
I hear you. Lex, I'm going to come to you because hold on, Nigel, we'll come back to you. Lex, he's kind of dismissed our current form against United, and I hear what he's saying, but also I think there is an element, we've gone through it, where once you concede one, you think, here we go again. It does happen in football. I think mentality is a massive thing. So, again, I look at the Liverpool game. Once they got one, once the second come, I said, it's 4, because I know what we're about when we play Liverpool. Again, they failed to score in 3. So if we take the first, do they now think we never break these lot down? Like we just struggle to break them. So do you think he's played it down a little bit about the form, or do you think it's kind of gone out the window? It's a new manager, should be a kind of a new Man United, or do you think recent history is going to play a big part in this?
I think form does come into play a bit. You can't say form doesn't come into it at all. And I think as well, if you look at the Liverpool game, how when we conceded 2 goals and then we just kind of collapsed. I think Arteta's learned from that, especially playing away at Anfield, and we'd be playing at Old Trafford. So I think he's definitely learned from that, and I think form is going to come into play. I think we're coming on a high. We're confident. We're actually picking up, good results. The team is kind of gelling. We've got a kind of distinct kind of pattern of play, and you can't just throw that out the window just for this game. Don't get it twisted. This is a big game. This game, as you mentioned before, when you look at the previous games, like if you look at the games of fixtures for the season, you first look at Tottenham, and then you look at Man United. I grew up, the Arsenal and Man United derbies all the time. So, that's going to come into as well. But yeah, you can't throw away the form, because we're kind of on the high. United, obviously, they sacked Oli, so I think that's giving them a little bit of energy, as you kind of mentioned before. So that kind of makes the game a little bit more. I think will make it a little bit more exciting. But I think the form that we come into this game is at the right time. And we bounced back after the Liverpool game. So, I'm quite confident that we'll go into this game on a high.
But I suppose if you're talking form, then the form book that United are kind of based off at the moment is 1 win, 1 draw since the change was made in terms of the coaching staff. So you could argue that in its present state, before we see some real change in terms of the training that will take place over the next number of weeks, is we're coming in with a win and a draw in our copybook, coming into our 3rd game in this present situation. So you could argue United are coming in a decent run of form to this game. So I suppose in that way, Arsenal being on form as well, to a certain extent, is kind of counteracted by the fact that with the managerial changes, United are also finding themselves in a decent run of form coming into this game. And we're kind of in an unknown territory in terms of if you do get that one goal and then we say, okay, we are struggling to break them down, it would come down to a matter of, will you get a second goal to kill us off? So I see this kind of being, United's copybook is 1 win, 1 draw, and Arsenal's form book is exactly what you've outlined coming into this game.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna literally got a few last comments from everybody. We're gonna go to the Nigerian Englishman. Can you give us your predictions for tomorrow's game? Wrap it up nice and quick.
My
30 seconds
prediction
each.
for tomorrow's game. All right, I would say interesting one. I'm gonna go with 2-1 to Arsenal, and because I'm confident that if we can get the first goal, it's a different game. Because that's why I say it's the same United. If United rode their luck against Chelsea, they didn't take their chances and they punished them for it. As long as we don't give them that chance and score the first goal, I can't see anything other than a 2-1 win, to be honest. And it's gonna be down to Tomiyasu having a good game, Partey showing up like he did last year, and the big man Aubameyang scoring the winner.
All right, I like that. He's gone with a big bold prediction. TalkMU, what's your thoughts? What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think we're just going to frustrate the hell out of you, get in your faces, break up your play, make you move the ball quicker than you would want to, which is going to cause mistakes. Somebody's going to latch onto it. 1-0, second half, same again, keep you out. Bang, 2-0. It's 2-0 United all day. I'll take a bet with any of you right now.
Hey, with me, take that bet with me, bro.
We'll talk to you afterwards. We're definitely going to message you. Now, go on, Alex. What's your thoughts? What's your score prediction? Nigeria's gone on. We're going to dominate the game. TalkMU said we're going to dominate and they're going to counter. Can you see something different?
Yeah, I'm going for a win. I'm saying 1-0. I think we can come out of this game with a clean sheet. I know it's bold, but I honestly feel that we could come out of this game with a clean sheet. And I say if Saka, hopefully he's fit to play. And I think the only other change is whether or not we put Tierney on for Tavares or not. But I think if we go with that, with that team, I'll say we can nick it at 1-0.
Decent. And Rebel, what's your thoughts?
Just one quick question. Is Licks related to Monday? Because every time we ask a Monday for a scoreline, it's 1-0. And I'm just curious, has he got a history of 1-0?
Well, I'll do it. I'll say it for you.
No, there's no relation there, but
on Monday we'll say 1-0, see the game out. That's it. 1-0, see the game out.
Yeah.
But in terms of the actual game itself, I'm going to go for a similar scoreline to Nigerian Englishman, just the reverse. I think 2-1 United. I think we're going to see Sancho bagging himself another goal, ESR getting the one for E, and then either Big Eddie Cavani or Big Ronaldo getting us 2-1, maybe in the 70th, 80th minute. That's the way I'm going to go with it playing out.
Not bad. And I might just sit on the fence and go draw. No, I'm not doing that. I'm confident. I don't know why I get confident, but yeah, I'm there. I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. I agree with Nigeria. I think a clean sheet's in the offering. I'm praying Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw play. Because they're suspect.
Luke Shaw's out.
But I think is he out? Is he?
Yeah,
he's out.
That's bad news for me. But no, I just
Showberto Carlos they recorded him last season, no?
Yeah.
He just needs a rest.
Seen the improvement in
Nigeria. He just needs a rest, bro. That's all he needs, man. A little bit of R&R.
Bless. But yeah, I said I feel you see the improvements, but I just feel they're saying in us at the moment. And again, there's less mistakes from this team at the moment. So touch wood, they don't show up tomorrow because this would be the worst game for it to happen in. But I'm hoping I'll see you guys afterwards with that same confidence and energy. Yeah, all right, we're gonna hold you to that. But guys, thank you very much. When obviously this stream's finishing, head straight over to the United agenda. I believe they've already started. So we're going to be in there in the comments trying to get onto on Monday and the rest of them. But yeah, thanks very much. Are you doing a watch along talk?
Yes, yeah, we're doing a watch along. Yeah, definitely.
I will be
Bless
locked
you.
into
Alright,
your watch along talk.
make
Emmy.
sure
Don't
guys
worry.
we tune
Appreciate
in.
it.
I would love to watch that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, mate.
Well, listen, I can't wait. I actually can't wait for it tomorrow. So
Same
yeah,
here.
I'm gonna bid you all good night. So jump straight over to the United agenda, and let's just cause some more trouble with us man at the top. Let's do this. Right, guys, enjoy. Put that shirt away, please. No one don't want to see that here. And we're gonna see you afterwards anyway. Good luck to everybody. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we out of here.